Welcome back to the Spotlight. As promised, we've got one of the owners from the Detroit City Football Club with us here in studio, Sean Mann. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to visit us here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Yep, not a problem. So, DCFC is kind of a name that's being thrown around all over the place nowadays. How did the Detroit City Football Club get started?
Yeah, it's a group of guys. We all live in the city, and we got to know each other playing recreational soccer.
Okay.
And we recognized the fact that Metro Detroit didn't have a team, that we were one of the largest markets in the country without a really proper soccer team that fans could get behind. And so, we kind of took it from there, and with a very kind of grassroots approach, kind of built a success story that hopefully is getting more successful with each game.
Absolutely, and you talk about success. I mean, the turnout at the games, especially last year into the inaugural season. Tell me a little bit about the fans and, how much support this team is actually getting being so young.
Yeah, I mean, we start out with a marketing budget that's like 3 figures. Basically, whatever it costs us to print off
whatever you had
flyers
in your pocket at the time.
Yeah, but what we saw is that we've created a really lively, unique sporting experience that I think in its own way rivals going to a Tigers or Lions game in terms of like the passion, the experience that you're going to take away from it. So we saw each game attendance went up 10 to 20%.
Nice.
Game after game, and we saw that even every game was pretty much our largest crowd we ever had, and we just had our home opener and for the 2013 season, which was our largest crowd we ever had at around 2,000 people, and so we just looked to build upon that. It's all because of just fans having such a great time that they're coming back and they're bringing other people along with them.
That's right, and I mean Detroit doesn't really have an MLS team or anything. We've had some indoor success with the Rockers back in the day, and then the Neon and the Ignition. So, I mean, is that the goal? Do you see DCFC turning into a possible MLS team?
Yeah, well, I've always been pretty open that we're not the ownership group that's going to do that, because we're all 30-something guys who just love the game, and we love what it can do for a community. And the indoor teams were popular in their own right, but I think what we're tapping into is a whole different appreciation for sports and what it can be, how it can be more than just the game. That there's really kind of a supporters culture that's grown up around it. And
absolutely.
And I think as a 30-something who grew up watching cable television, I saw when I came home from school midday European soccer matches, and there's a whole generation of us who saw those fans with the flags and the singing and the chants, and there's no reason we couldn't have that in the U.S. And so when you look at the MLS, Major League Soccer, the 2 most successful franchises, 3 of them all started out as minor league teams. Oh, wow. And over a couple of decades, they built up that fan base, and they're able to demonstrate in the purest of market sense that there was a demand for it, and there was a support network. It wasn't just plopping down an expansion team in the middle of a city because television ratings are what they thought it might be. Right,
exactly. Now tell me about how somebody can maybe come and try out. Where do you find your players?
We do open tryouts, and that's really just because we're community-minded and we want to give fans an opportunity to come out and try. I mean, we offer a season ticket to everyone who tries out because we want them to keep being part of the club. We want them, even if they don't make it, we want to see them in the stands. But most of our players are top-level college players who do have aspirations of going on playing higher in the pros. We had one player last year, Kofi Apari, who just graduated from Michigan and got drafted by the LA Galaxy.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful.
It's a Major League Soccer team that David Beckham and some other international stars played for. And so, we have a couple guys on the squad this year that, next year when the draft comes up, have a shot of going on. We also have we've created such a fun fan experience. There's such a lively crowd that we have several former pro players who just happen to be in this area who want to play in front of that kind of crowd, and maybe even played in MLS and never had a chance to have like that passionate of a crowd behind them. So we've got 4 guys on the squad who played MLS at one point or another, and they're kind of dusting off the cleats and having one good run of it again before they
playing for fun now instead of all the politics and everything involved with. I guess the big stage of professional sports.
Right. I mean, it's competitive. We've developed some intense rivalries quickly with some other teams in the league. So it's passionate.
I'm actually lucky enough to be a part of the team as the public address announcer. So I've seen those rivalries kind of happen right before our eyes, and and then you tell me about this the Rust Belt Derby.
Yeah, I mean, we play in the National Premier Soccer League. It's a national league, but to keep travel costs down and realistic, we primarily only play teams in the Great Lakes, Midwest area.
Okay.
And so we have a very passionate supporters, which is one of our defining characteristics. And they pack in. The last game was about 700, 800 strong in this pretty tight section, and they're singing everything like this. Well, there's similar groups in other Rust Belt cities that we play, and so they took it upon themselves from a little competition amongst us, side competition between teams in Cleveland and Buffalo. So it's just something fun to play for outside of just our normal championship.
Well, that's cool. And then tell me a little bit more about the league. You said it's nationwide?
Yeah, it's a national-wide league, and there's over 55 teams in the league. And, it's a whole spectrum of professionalism of the different organizations. In some ways, if you're familiar with the hockey movie Slapshot, there is it's a minor league,
Absolutely.
But at the same time, it's still a great time. And the great thing about being a minor league in a major market is that it provides us opportunities to team up with small businesses and do things that they can't do sponsorships with the Tigers or the Lions or whatever.
Right.
So we can team up with small pizzerias and do fun halftime things, and we do quirkier things than the major corporation teams can do. We invented the first ever jean short cannon for halftime.
Yes, and yes, you heard that correctly, a jean short cannon. So tell me how this came to be.
I mean, we want to do things differently. And so, if you go to a baseball game, even minor league baseball, they shoot the T-shirt into the crowd or the hot dog. And we thought it'd be funny if we had first ever jean short or short cannon, and then we stuffed the pockets of the jean short full of coupons to local small businesses
that's great.
around the area.
So, and then I noticed you also have like the catering trucks and stuff like that. So there's merchandise and food available.
Yeah, we always want to provide the best experience possible at the best price. I mean, our tickets are $5. Season tickets are only $35, and we wanted to be professional, so we didn't want to be out there. I mean, for us, the owners, it's all very hands-on. We are the staff, and we didn't want to be grilling up hamburgers or boiling hot dogs ourselves. So we teamed up, and so we basically have a food truck rally at every game, and so it's a high-end cuisine, and it's a fun, unique experience to add on to already an interesting night out.
Very cool. Now, tell our viewers where you guys play your home games and
we play our games downtown Detroit, Cass Tech, so just opposite I-75 from the Fox Theater. And we're based in the city, but we draw a crowd from all over the region. Our players come from everywhere. I know, as I was saying earlier, we have several guys who went to De La Salle, a lot of Warren connections here. But our fans are driving from Flint, from Lansing, for every game, for every event. And so it's really because I think we're providing a unique experience that people have been clamoring for a long time around here.
Absolutely, and I agree 100%. It's a great, just the atmosphere going down there. If you could tell me, I know we've talked about the fans already a little bit, but put in perspective exactly what kind of atmosphere they provide down there. So when you come to a game, it's like nothing you've ever been to.
Yeah, and I want to be clear to the audience that you don't have to be with our supporters. There's two sections of the stadium. There's the supporters who, they'll meet up a couple hours beforehand at a neighboring bar in the Cass Corridor, and they'll march in unison, a few hundred strong, into the stadium with their drums and their, smoke bombs and their flags and their noisemakers, and then they get into the stands and they stand the entire game and they sing, and they have their chants. Some are pretty blue, others are family friendly, but most are pretty blue.
Right.
And but they're on the other side of the stadium, and everybody else, families, and everybody can be on the other side and watch from afar and take in the spectacle. And and the field is very small, and so you're right on top of the action. I mean, it's a very lively atmosphere.
Very cool. And now tell me a little bit about some of the other promotions. You have some other sponsors this year with the rally towels and some of the gear and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, we teamed up with all kinds of small businesses to, give away promotions. We got the rally flags, I think, in a couple of weeks. local title companies could be providing kazoos.
Okay.
Because one sporting venue in town, I won't single out for some reason, banned kazoos. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Probably because of the vuvuzela or whatever from the World Cup.
I can't imagine.
I just had to guess it's from that.
I just can't imagine that many people bringing kazoos to a game. But anyways, so our sponsor's giving them out because we're a little bit more relaxed than others.
Yes,
but
we are for kazoos.
Yeah, I mean, we're for a good time. And like we do at halftime, we teamed up with the burrito company, the food truck, and we do a burrito eating contest with involving novelty soccer balls and obstacle courses. It's just, I think it's kind of a more relaxed, less corporate kind of sporting event that, because we're a major market, we don't necessarily have. Yeah.
And another thing that I really like about the team is that you do involve the community and some of the younger generation. I know kids from the Police Athletic League were there, and then the players come down and sign autographs. What are some of the other promotions, or what? Honestly, a question that I have is, what's a Detroit bike, and why do you have that available?
Oh, you know, a guy has just bought a factory on the west side of Detroit, and he's building the first time in many generations, like Detroit Belt Bike.
Okay.
And so we're teaming up with him, and if you go on our website in the near future, you'll be able to vote for our team MVP, and the team MVP and then the voters will have a chance to win one of these bikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically just a bike completely made right here in the state of Michigan, right in our neighborhood.
Yep, pressed.
That is very cool. And you said it's the first ever one made right here? Well, in a long time. Okay.
Yes. And so, again, it's that fun kind of teaming up with different businesses around town. You know, O'Connor Real Estate, they thanks to them, you have the best location in the stadium.
Right.
So at halftime, if you check in on Facebook, you get a chance to move down to the sideline, and we have some leather office chairs that you can set in right next to the field.
Very cool.
So, yeah, it's just an interesting time out.
All right, so some information. What is the website?
Yeah, you can find out all the information about us on www.detcityfc.com.
Okay, and then also comments, videos, and stuff like that on Facebook as well?
Yep, we're all over social media, Detroit City FC, Twitter, YouTube. We're pretty active out there.
Very cool. And that's another great thing is, you know, you go to these sites and you can see highlights of the games and sights and sounds. You guys really put together a great media facility, or not facility, but a great media team that takes care of everything. Again, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. Unfortunately, we are running out of time here. Go visit these guys on the website. Come out to a game. If you see me, feel free to say hello. I saw you on the spotlight, and, you know, thank you for introducing this to us. You know, this is a great thing going on in Metro Detroit and the area. Sean, once again, thank you so much. Go out and support DCFC and stick around. We've got more Spotlight coming right up after the break. You're not going to want to miss it.